Okay, so she's loving her alcohol and the kaplinky music. So, as a single woman, she's Blue Ridge Bandit on her own. She's good at that. Anyway, her sister co-opted the name for the band, did she? Blue Ridge Bandits, they became.
To ride with all kinds of memorable stops along the way. My friends and I rode the Big Indian Rivers route, and it was unreal. The Catskills are a must ride. There were 600 women who came to ride this year. So many women I met came for the first time too. Pulling into camp, there were lines of motorcycles and tents and women all laughing and dancing all around the campground. Music playing, people cheering, having a great time. These were women of all different ages, sizes, colors, backgrounds, life experiences, making connections with each other, friendships that will last lifetimes.
Well, if that's the case, I want one of you babes on bicycles to get to the bloody island and help her. She's actually got dirt rash, he was laughing. They've got no water. And she's expected to deliver the baby on her own on the island because he's going to be too squeamish to look, he told us. Oh, and he'll be videoing the PG version. Come on, girls, help her. Basically, to show she's just as fixated on filming it all as Matt is, she must have planted her phone on the bridge in a minute, so her friends all waited while she did that, and then drove with her friends past it, and then stopped to get it. So, she's commanding her own little cult, is what I'm saying. Here we go, let's see it happen. But, I don't know the actual sequence.
The next morning, Natalie loaded up the map of Big Indian Rivers that she had downloaded offline on Google Maps, and we highly suggest doing that, as the service
so she's going back for her phone on the tripod.
Luckily, the campsite that I found actually had like 2 bars of service, and so we had girls coming over and just making phone calls and sending texts.
And they're all waiting for her while she gets back on. She's dropped her phone. I think she means windy roads. But she forgot that from when she wrote it and when she said it. They're going to be homeschooling if it's born alive. Christ. Oh, don't panic. I don't believe in God.
We're different in ways and we're similar in so many more. I really encourage you to make a way to get the babes right out next year. You'll have a
So I wonder if she ever did get back herself. And I really hope if any of you met her there, you see this and go help her. She is stranded and isolated and really is being coercively controlled. And like any cult member, she's been entrained to think she's loving it. You can see how broken she is.
So grateful to have met you. I'll see you next year, and I'll see you in the next video. This is the Blue Ridge Bandit, over and out.
So to be fair, they are both like idiot savants with the marketing. I think that East Coast 5 was in 2017, so I don't know if she did get to 2018. Okay, onwards. I'm not even doing this to be mean. You know, I find both of them beguiling. That's the point, though. That's sort of the hook or the hoovering mechanism. So I am just going to react to this with what I know from Sam Vaknin's work. Okay, so she's an object. She's, you know, placing her cameras far away and filming herself.
To experience a death of my old self and a rebirth into the woman I am blooming into.
And were that true, I would have been happy, but we know she's ended up pregnant and isolated on an island with her husband, cackling and saying she's got dirt rash. No water, no toilet. It's ridiculous.
In this moment, I am a young woman, quick and light on my feet. 24 cycles around the sun, each with a deep knowing and desire for a magical, transformational life as the baseline of my being.
So yeah, enthralled in magical thinking as a sign of, you know, her derealization. Basically, she laughs while heavily pregnant with her dangerous husband about what will they beat their unborn child with? A belt or a wooden spoon? And they both basically announced that they'd been beaten as children and couldn't see anything wrong with it. So that leads them to having a high ACE score. So the Vaknin video for that is how your childhood effs up your adulthood. And it'll explain why they have no executive function, and I like this.
The day I arrived on this land, I had trekked 12 miles walking along the trails of the Shenandoah National Park.
Which was quite the spectacle.
Generosity of humans. Oh, gotta love it. Just a couple of gals out on the trail. Oh.
That might be your sister dropping her off, is it?
I began my hike at dusk with my beautiful blue tick hound trailing.
Began your hike at dusk?
Just for when the sun does finally go down and...
Why would you begin your hike at dusk, darling?
5 miles to hike deep into the forest to the top of the mountain where this magical, primitive log cabin plants its roots.
So that's the second time she's said magical. Oh, I used to be a magical thinking hippie. It's sort of, you know, fun, but it's delusional. So, it's dangerous, you know, it doesn't pass reality testing because it's not reality. It's a self-placatory measure.
And by dark, I was losing steam as quick and swiftly as the wind changes direction. Ah! Oh, God. Yes! Oh! Sweet Lord! I can power on! You sweet trail markers. Oh. 1 more mile to go for the cabin. Super excited. What do you think? Are you tired? Oh, no.
It is dreadful. Just that I think a lot of her husband's problem stems from possibly being teased because he is a really exaggerated mouth breather. Either after watching the whole trek, which might be another vid, kind of became convinced Kelly's mouth breather as well. which ought not to matter, and isn't the point of risibility. It's just that, it could explain some of their narcissism because they felt defensive about it or were mocked about it. And once I researched mouth breathing a bit so I wasn't just being a nasty, ignorant cunt about it, I found that one of the signs is, a deep voice from the mouth breathing, and it sort of explains why Kelly sings in the key of Satchmo. Like, says me, you can hear my voice. That's, what is it now? How's my maths? How old am I? Probably 30 plus years of chain smoking, have done this to my voice. So were I to have enough breath to sing, which I don't, I'd be in the key of Satchmo. But it sort of seemed peculiar when Kelly sang that she had such a deep voice. But it's sort of, the prime evidence of her mouth breathing also. So, basically, the only point of mentioning that is, I hope she and Matt can actually chill at home together about that. But because he's actually a sadistic, semantic narcissist, in my opinion, I doubt they have that little moment of fealty or being able to be honest and relax amongst each other. Anyway, onward, sorry.
I cried out to Mother Earth, exhausted in tears.
Okay, so the Mother Earth is a thing. He's always screaming at Mother Earth and thanking Mother Earth, and she's doing it herself now. It's a classic sign of self-infantilism, which goes with the narcissism. Most narcissists apparently, are functioning less than 9 years old emotionally. They might be fine, intellectually, but they just can't function. Here we go.
Oh, Mother! Fully willing to accept my fate if I stopped dead in my tracks.
So it's called catastrophizing. They're always the end of the world. So she got dropped off at dusk. Looks like she forgot her mouth breather's chapstick. How could that be possible? She should have 30 with her. I always take a fair few. Now she's pretty sure she's going to drop dead on the track. One would call that catastrophizing and not very, what's the word, encouraging for the dog.
And scrambled up into the high rock caves to rest my feet and to close my eyes until the dawn. Bushwhack is a straight understatement. Right now.
She scrambled up, to the caves and sat on the rocks to rest her feet and wait till the dawn, but what? No attention span. She's back down and going.
Last half mile. I'm taking granny steps. Granny steps.
Sorry about the traffic. I live on a highway and all the farmers are trying to get the grain
And my only saving grace.
Wrapped before Christmas.
And when I could see a glimpse of its chimney, I flooded with tears.
So the good Vaknin video for this is called Sometimes Refusing to Grow Up is a Good Idea. It looks into the premise of neoteny. So because she's self-infantilized, look at the lability. Because she's self-infantilized, you know what I mean?
Gratitude filled
She
my
really
every
feels
fiber.
like Gretel at this point. So she's doing it all with her selfie stick.
As if to say, thank you for finding me. I've been waiting for your arrival, my dear. I was home.
Anthropomorphic cabin, anyone? Because what? She's her. She's had to make a little romance where the cabin itself has been waiting for her and is so happy to see her, my dear. It's not that she's so happy to see the cabin. Talk about grandiosity.
Was my little off-grid home deep in the hollow. This old girl and I have done a good few miles today, and I can tell you what, it is going to feel so amazing to kick back and relax at our cabin in the woods.
Now this is peculiar. Because she needs to film everything, she's set her camera up. But that means she's scared like a little kid and can't go in because it's dark.
Oh, yes. That looks really dark and scary, too.
So what does she do about that? She shuts the dog in there, then comes and gets the camera. Really? She just made that happen.
All the tools I need. That's good. For all my friends who are joining me. Oh, yes.
Oh yeah, she probably have to project that onto the dog because she was scared.
Oh, my gosh.
It was mean though.
Hey. Already got my cooking stuff? Ready for a fire?
Excuse the cough, man.
Cabinets, we're all set, beauty.
So what, the next morning?
This land I lay upon has been home to native tribes over 12,000 years ago. Their camps have been found in the valleys below, and I could feel their spirits floating among the rivers and the breeze.
So there's some pretty embarrassing cultural appropriation there, isn't it? What, can she feel the massacred tribes, or it's the mythical sort of ghost tribes?
And the fairy light shining through the trees.
Fairy lights? So that's Bluebell, who later goes to live with her when she's married.
Somehow, even alone and aware of the spirits and energies around me, I was never scared. I was wrapped in a hand-woven blanket of time, with its fibers spun from stories, safety, natural resources around me, gratitude and solitude. I know I wasn't the only one to ever feel this way about this land.
That's pretty much all magical thinking, that. Why would you use a gas fire? Why isn't she lighting the stove?
In my own life, as I move and change to a free bird riding on those winds of change, I find
She
I'm
should take the
relearning
dog's
so much
bra
about my
off.
world and life itself. I've never been this deep in self-discovery as I am in this moment, here on the mountaintop.
That was just a little bit of inane walking and display. It's all for the camera. Oh, sorry, it's all for the camera. It's vanity. Oh, sorry guys.
This is the type of place I need to be in.
Was she having 2-minute noodles?
The owls call to me, and I call back with full trust that they understand. I walk out into the deepest dark night sky and lay on the grass beneath my feet to gaze at the galaxies and stars above me.
Which is, fun, but it's like, little kids' fun, sort of, isn't it? Communing with owls. She doesn't know what they said, but they know what she said. It's magical thinking. It's sort of fun when you're stuck in it, but it's, delulu.
Creating the space and time to heal myself and my inner child. The little girl who wants to run wild like the horses on the open plains that was once roped in to a corral to be tamed.
The little girl with the knot of neglect in her hair.
Her and I walked side by side on these days, singing to the trees and the rocks, laughing and dancing with the springs and the breeze. She was held and set free, and so was I.
So I didn't realise that, poor hygiene habits are a sign of depression, self-neglect, and or self-infantilization. So she's only been there 2 days or something, and she's got a big knot in her plait. She says at one point she was getting overly groomed when she was getting ready for all her singing gigs with her sister. Her sister's a vain little piece of work. And so I suppose, they were overly grooming and very competitive. You can see she looks well groomed, although still tomboyish in their singing videos. Then more recently she says she, hasn't bathed for 5 days at one point, she said. And now they've got no water where they live. She's heavily pregnant. And he was laughing, she's got dirt rash. So what's the word? Denigration in her ability to look after her own body has been marked, is observable.
A seed of inner awakening to ourselves, to the earth, and to spirit.
It's all this hippie bullshit, blah, blah.
I am here to share the taste of that freshwater spring of what deep magic we can witness in this world.
So you can have your dog walk through it.
Society and conditioning and our own limiting beliefs have placed on us. And we decide to live bright-eyed.
The poor dog. Everything's a setup. It's all film ops, isn't it? Selfie heaven.
There, we see all the magic that dances around us, even in the mundane, the mistakes, and the messes.
Isn't it true when you're setting your camera up everywhere, it takes like twice as long to do anything because you've got to keep going to get your fucking camera? I know it's like filmic, but I don't think I've had the bloody energy to do that once. Alright, she's run out of gas, thank fuck.
With the snakes, and hold visions and strength like the eagle.
It's just all wishy-washy bullshit.
Of mystical, transformational awakening, and I invite you to run wild alongside with your soul family, to create a community of love, truth,
really?
growth, with the elements.
It's kind of embarrassing. It's like watching a 2-year-old do it. That's not Kate Bush dancing there.
Sister Water. And so it is. Thank you for spending your precious time with me I appreciate it more than, sending so much love.
The singy-songy cadence is rather irritating, is it not? Okay, we do want the next one, we do.